when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game, nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter, there were times when there was joy, but they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Well,
Welcome, race fans, to another Sunday evening of Racing Action, coming at you live from the simulated Iowa Speedway for the Global Racing League Truck Series as they take to the track as they are winding down their final races before they crown a Global Racing League Truck Series champion. Again, at Iowa for 200 laps. Track is just a hair over 3/4 of a mile in length, 0.89 miles. Excellent facility. You can see the temperature outside right now, 66 degrees or 77 degrees right now. Track temperature, 66. Humidity's all right. Clear skies. Don't see a cloud in the sky. 16-mile-an-hour winds, and you can see these trucks already struggling with turn 2. But that's all right. These guys will get a handle of it. My name is Dustin Logston. I know typically you're used to Jeremy Stanley bringing you the call-in action for every Sunday night, but it is me tonight, and I am joined tonight by our main man, Mr. Keach. Matt, how are you doing tonight, my man?
Hey, man, how's it going?
Hey, I tell you what, looking to have some good racing tonight here at Iowa. This is considered the A home track for Nerditudes. This is about an hour and 45 minutes due west from Nerd HQ. So this is a home track. We did broadcast live coverage of the Gen 7s. Yes, Gen 7s, because I refuse to call them Next Gens anymore, Jeremy. But the Gen 7s. And they put on a hell of a show here. It had some struggles, though, with that turn 4 and that turn 1 and 2 tunnel entrance. Seemed to really upset those cars, so we're going to see what these guys can't do tonight.
Yeah, it seems like so far here in the practice, because we've had a couple moments to watch a little bit, and it seems like turn 2 is going to be the hotbed for action tonight. Turn 4 is definitely going to have some action, because you're going to be, the truck's going to be loaded and you're going to be loose, but we should definitely see some action off the corners tonight.
Oh, for sure. Have you seen the pre-race? You had a chance to watch that. Turn 2, like you said, Keach, was the hot corner. What was it, 4 trucks in a row, back to back to back to back, got loose.
Man. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was almost like somebody went out there and threw some oil slick down there, James Bond style, just to sit here and see what would happen. So it's going to be interesting. Got to give a shout out to Michelle Rittenberry on Facebook saying, hey guys, how you doing? Glad you're joining in for tonight's action. But Keach, we have to talk points. These guys are in a very, very stout points battle right now. And as it sits, we have Chad McGinley, John Howard, JJ McCoy, Stephen Knight, Abram Ghostin, Clayton White, and Joshua Slade are all slotted in the playoffs right now. They're all trying to bid for that top spot. Those are your 8 drivers trying to go for those final 4 positions right now, and they will be highlighted in green on the ticker up top. But this could be a make or break, as we have tonight, Homestead, and then Martinsville. Those are the 3 tracks, Keys, to sit here and really decide the final 4 going into Phoenix.
Yeah, now Iowa and then Homestead and Martinsville, 3 completely different tracks, 3 different driving styles that you're gonna need. I mean, this place is definitely going to be a challenge, like we've already mentioned. Off the corners, off of 2 and 4, gonna decide definitely the point battle. Homestead, Martinsville, 2 decent tracks, not a whole lot. Martinsville there will be a lot of beating and banging going on, but I think this is the wild card race right here. This is going to be the one that's really going to decide it.
Yeah, and it really will. And I did forget Brad Miner and Bobby Mantle, so I apologize to those guys as well. Their names will be in the mix. So it's going to be a wild one. It really will. I mean, this is going to be a make or break when it comes to it. And like you said, completely different tracks. I mean, Iowa's its own track, modeled very reminiscent to that of a Richmond, which, I mean, to justice, Rusty Wallace was one of the masterminds behind this track, and that was one of the tracks he loved was Richmond. Very successful career at Richmond. So you have a Richmond-esque style track here at Iowa, like you said, Homestead. You have that very fast, very, as far as the cornering, the progressive banking. long straightaways, and then you have Martinsville, which is the paperclip. I mean, it is a short track, heavy braking, flat. So you go from a progressive bank track to another progressive bank to literally the flattest track that we have on the circuit and one of the smallest ones. So it's going to be a challenge for these drivers.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a challenge. These guys are going to be fighting for every spot that they can, especially as the playoffs are starting to wind down here. So we'll see who will come out on top tonight, and hopefully they can carry their momentum towards their championship this year.
Absolutely, and we're waiting for Joshua Slade. In typical nerd TV fashion, we always try to ride on the qualifying lap of the fastest driver in practice, and that was none other than Joshua Slade in that 12, who does need a good race tonight. So he's already looking stout in practice, taking that top spot. But right now, qualifying times, Bobby Mantle has taken the top qualifying spot at a 22.75. So that's a tenth and a half over that of John Howard. So your championship driver's already out there trying to get that ever so important track position, because that's one thing that they talked about in drivers meeting. Passing was going to be difficult, especially at a turn 4. If you really try to force that truck and really steer that truck down at times, it would tend to break loose. So passing was going to be hard. They told drivers, hey, keep an eye out for slide jobs, because this track naturally produces those slide job maneuvers where they will slide up out of corner exit in front of the next driver, which in turn sets up your crossover move. So be prepared, Keach, to see a lot of those tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Used to slide jobs there on the dirt scene, but because we got our driver here coming out. The fastest lap time of Mantle, he's about a tenth off of what the 12 truck ran there in practice. So we'll see what kind of lap that we'll get here from Joshua Slade.
Yeah, and again, Slade was one of those trucks that had troubles on cold tires on turn 2. So you see he's taking that high line approach. He's trying to maximize that speed, and he's going to keep it up there in that third groove, flirting with that fourth one as he goes up higher. So this is his first time lap. These drivers do get 2 green flag laps, so they have 1 out lap and 2 timed laps. He is going through 3 and 4 right now, coming to the line to start his second and final lap. You're going to see him go down to the bottom. Now he's going to cut this course as close as possible. No, he's going to call it right there. He's going to stop.
I think that was his second lap right there.
Was that his second lap?
I do believe so. Wow, he's way off his lap time.
It had a 23.55. Man, I didn't think that he pulled 2 laps. Maybe I'm not paying attention out there. See, that's why that's why Jeremy's here always to try to keep me in line, because my mind just flies everywhere. Right now, though, close qualifying times. You see 2 Grim Reaper Motorsports drivers holding the front row right now. That's Mantle to 22.75, and a very close JJ McCoy at a 22.78. 3/100ths of a second off in between those 2 drivers. And Michael Hayes, again on his 3rd week back after making his return, is only 100th off of JJ McCoy. So, I mean, your top 3, very, very close. And even you look at your next 4, there's only 700ths of a second in between 4th place and 7th place. And that's Ghostin, Marinko, White, and Howard. So very close qualifying times.
Yeah, the top 8, as you said, they're all within, a quarter of a second. So these guys have definitely figured out how to get around fast. Now, can they just get around for 200 laps without wrecking each other?
And that's going to be an excellent question there, because it's not only the other drivers that they're going to have to race tonight, it's the track. We've already talked about some of the struggle points that this track is going to pose for these drivers. And that's one thing that, they're going to have to battle as well. There's going to be times where they're going to have to battle both the drivers and the track at the same time. And there's some times where they may get a long green flag run, and they may be able to just battle the track. So only time is going to tell as we get ready to get this going. As we do our starting grid, we're going to go through our official starting grid. Bobby Mantle takes the top spot. JJ McCoy, that is your row 1. Row 2, inside is going to be Mike Hayes. Outside, his dancing partner is going to be Abram Ghostin in that 25. Third row, Brody Marinko on the inside. Clayton White will start P6 on the outside of row 3. Row 4 is going to be John Howard on the outside. His dancing partner is going to be Danny White starting P8. Brad Miner in the inside of row 5 with Anthony Emmerich in the 23 starting 10th. In 11th is going to be Ron Harrington. Starting 12th is going to be Steve Knight. Joshua Slade, again, not the best qualifying effort out of that 12 crew. Not what he was probably wanting to start this race. We'll be starting P13. And then you're going to have Austin McGill starting P14. And bringing up the final row is going to be Stephen Hayes starting on the inside. And Ron Holmes rounding out your official 15-car starting grid for the So Sad No Chad 200. And yes, that is a talking point as well. The So Sad No Chad. Chad McGinley, your points leader, not in attendance tonight. This was one of the races that he had stated to the production crew he was not going to be able to attend. So that's the camaraderie that these guys have here. It's these guys have raced and spent a lot of time with each other, so they always sit here and have fun. So the So Sad No Chad 200 at Iowa Speedway. So that means Chad McGinley will not be added to his win count tonight. We will see another winner tonight. The question is, Matt, is which one of these 16, sorry, I miscounted, 16 trucks will take that top spot?
Yeah, I was going to correct you there, but you got it. You got it. But yeah, no, any of these top 8, I think we really need to keep an eye on. You know, quarter of a second. You know, they're all within. You know, they're all going to keep each other very honest here. So definitely see who will come out on top.
Yeah, as you see, the pace car is pulling out. Actually, pace truck. Man, you know what? I quit.
You're
I'm done.
kind of struggling.
I am on the struggle bus tonight, calling cars or trucks cars, cars trucks. I can't even count. 16 trucks. I say there's 15. My goodness, man. Hopefully that's not a sign of things to come for tonight's race. Oh, man.
See, you're just getting out the bad luck now. That's all.
There you go. See, and I like that. We're brushing off the cobwebs before we get to the race in action. It will be 2 laps of pacing action. This is a short track, so they always do 2 laps of pace before we get to green flag racing action here. Again, Bobby Mantle, JJ McCoy going to be leading the front row. And we're going to see, again, 200 laps of racing action. That's the scheduled distance tonight. We will not be cutting anything short. There will not be a time constraint. You will see at least 200 laps of racing action minimum. Depending on what happens with those Boomer button box cautions, you might see a few extra laps. That is not out of the equation yet, Matt.
Yeah, and I've been down the field here just noticing one kind of interesting point here. Ford not being represented at all.
That's right. Ford is not being represented at all. Actually, this is a very heavy Chevy field. Pace truck off, green flag flies. We are underway for the So Sad No Chad. And we already have our first Boomer button box caution, and we didn't even make it to corner 1 yet, Keach.
See, man, you had to jinx it all, didn't you?
It's that commentator's curse, man. I should know better. Absolutely should know better. We're going to see what happened here.
He got a run on the 25 truck, and then he had to check up.
Oh, it's a big checkup.
Truck, yeah, 64 just came. He had the 23 right up his rear end there, so nothing that the 64 could really do, and turned the 14 into the 46, and it was on from there.
And it really was, and that almost looked like the 25 of Abram Ghost, and you see the left front fender there of Clayton White, not what he wanted to happen, but it did. It looked like the 25 of Abram Ghostin did not have the best start on that initial start there. We're going to take a look, and he started outside second row, and no, he didn't. He just did not go. I don't know if he missed a shift, if he was in the wrong gear. But yeah, he just did not go on that one at all. Take a look here. No, I mean, he looked like he was starting to go up. They took off. He did not get he did not get up to speed there, and it was that stack effect. Yeah, everybody just stacked up trying to do it, and some people were able to check up a little bit more than others. But that one there wasn't on the. I wouldn't put that on the 64. There was nothing Danny White could do there because he had the 23 of Anthony Emmerich right there, and Anthony Emmerich couldn't see what was going on because all he seen in front of him was a 64 Jack Daniels truck in front of him, so he didn't know what was going on until it was too late.
Yeah, that's just how here in some of these places, you get right up on them. You try to get that big push, try to get them, as much track position as you can. And unfortunately, you just can't see around them.
No, and you really can't either on that. We're gonna go back. We're gonna try because these pace laps at Iowa are ridiculously long. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go back and we're gonna take a look at the helmet cam here. So this is the helmet cam of Anthony Emmerich. He can't see anything in front of Danny White whatsoever.
As far as he's concerned, he doesn't even really know there's a truck there.
No, and he can just see it a little bit there, but look, you couldn't even see Clayton White. Could not see Clayton White at all until it was too late. We sit here and back that up. He can't see a truck there. The truck he's seeing up there is actually Abram Ghostin. That's not even Clayton White, and you don't see Clayton White there until right there. All of a sudden, it's already too late.
Yep, yeah, it's way too late, and then as you see, the 14 goes around. But like I was mentioning, the 14, once he got to the 25, the 14 just, I don't know if he just didn't go, truck wasn't in gear, I don't know what was going on there, but that was as you say, a stack up effect and causes chaos.
And it does. And like I said, I mean, the 14 of Clayton White, I mean, he had to do a huge checkup because there was a lot of space in between him and Abram Ghostin, and he was gaining speed fast. So he had to do a double check to really back it down. And then when you back it down that far and then try to get back on the throttle to get it back up to speed, it's really, really hard, especially if you've already shifted from second to third gear. That's even tougher because that third gear, the RPMs are going to be a lot lower. You're not going to have that low end torque and acceleration, at that point. So it was the mix of perfect storm mixture right there of all the bad things that could have possibly happened.
Yeah, and we get it on lap number 1. Didn't even get to turn 1. But here we go. A pace truck is off into the Geico restart zone, and we are back racing.
Back underway tonight, and it's not lame. Yeah, I know we are having some mic technical issues. Keach's mic is cutting out just ever so slightly, but it's not too. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Appreciate that very much. But racing action underway again. Bobby Mantle out to a lead. JJ McCoy trying to chase him down right now, but the racing action hot and heavy further back. That's going to be the 78 of John Howard to the outside of Abram Ghostin. He's got the, was that 57? Yes. Or no, the 99 of Austin McGill to the outside. Now Austin McGill trying to go. So the high side already showing some promise as far as passing and strength. But the question is what is that going to do to tire wear on these? We know that it will maintain a higher speed up there. But Keach, we know that higher speeds usually equals more tire wear when it comes to these trucks and or Xfinity cars, either way, here on the iRacing simulation platform.
Yeah. The more speed you carry, the more that you essentially wear the tire. Iowa is not necessarily the most abrasive track either, but some places do get it worse than others. Iowa might be one of them. We'll just have to keep an eye on that. But it does look like that the outside line is kind of where you want to be, at least in 1 and 2. 3 and 4, probably the bottom, unless you're trying to set up a pass.
Yeah, and we see John Howard, who was using that outside lane, now switching to the inside lane, trying to go to the inside of the one of Mike Hayes. But Mike Hayes
99 into the wall there a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of wall scrape there from Austin McGill coming up, and that is typical at this track, especially on turn 4 corner exit, and even turn 2. You try to maximize the most amount on that track, try not to drag it too much, so you let that truck drift out, and sometimes you let it drift just a hair too far. But right now, Mike Hayes will secure that 4th position from attempts, and we have another boomer button box caution in the works here, and that looks like it's going to be the 79 of Steve Knight off track.
Turn 4 strikes for the first time today.
Yeah, so we had
already in progress. Yeah, and he's already loose off of 4.
Yeah, the question is, did he have help? Oh, that drift up.
Well, let's see here.
So yeah, it was that corner exit there. So the 57 was holding his line. 79 drifted up, a little bit of air pocket in between them, and off went the 79. And that's probably the hardest thing, Keach, is when you're that inside truck, is because you have to control and maintain and stay down there. And the truck naturally wants to drift up off the corner because that's the natural, the exit of the corners. And you can't do that when there's a truck occupying that space. So you really have to back it down and really control how far you let that drift.
Yeah, because if you're on the bottom, you can't keep that momentum wound up like you can on the outside. So I think that was one of them scenarios. He was trying to keep that truck up there, kind of pinned, not to the wall, but try to keep him up. But he just not enough room there.
Not enough room, and the biggest recipient of that boomer button box caution is the 14 of Clayton White, who after that initial race start, an incident that took place, went a lap down to get damage repaired. This will put him back on the lead lap, so at least back on the same lap as 15 of his Global Racing League Truck Series brethren. So we'll see what he can't do. You can see the damage on that truck. But hey, he at least still has his left front fender. His virtual crew was at least able to get that reattached. So we'll keep an eye on the 14 of Clayton White there. Did have some takers down pit road. Steve Knight, Abram Ghostin, and Brad Miner all coming down to the service of their virtual pit crew.
Yeah, let's see. I'm curious if they took tires there because you get, 4 sets, I believe, for this evening's race. So
correct. 4 sets as a short track. They do offer 4 additional sets of tires.
Yeah, you don't want to burn through your sets too early because then you're not going to have a set laying pits for a late race yellow.
And that could be the reason why you only seen 3 trucks come to the service of their pit crew. Did they take tires? Did they fuel up only? They could have just come down and took this opportunity, Keach, to make adjustments to their trucks. This is an open setup series and league. So their trucks may not have been handling, and they may have taken this opportunity to say, you know what, let's address this. Let's get some changes made now while we actually can. And it's not going to cost us anything on the track. And they took advantage of it. So a lot of strategies could be playing out. But right now, Mantle, McCoy, Marinko is your top 3. Mike Hayes, John Howard rounds out your top 5. And then Austin McGill, Slade, who started way back in the back, is 7th. Danny White, Anthony Emmerich, and Stephen Hayes round out your top 10. Austin McGill, your biggest mover of the night, up 8 positions. And he is only seconded right now by his team, or not his teammate, but by the one of the championship contenders right now, Joshua Slade, who is up 6 spots from where he started. So drivers already taking these moments and short stints to try to make up as much ground as what they possibly can.
Yeah, restarts are definitely where you're going to be able to gain all your spots. Everybody's all stacked up. Try to be aggressive, but not too aggressive because you don't want to make contact. You don't want to damage the front end. Don't want to even though this is not really an aero track, being a quote unquote short track, but you do still have aero components that you need to take care of.
Absolutely, and you definitely do not want to damage that power plant either. If you go down any type of RPMs on that, you will notice the difference. You may not notice it in the corners. It may actually help you, but these straightaways may not be long. But if you go down RPMs there, you will know a difference there because you will not have the speed as your competitors do on that. Shout out to It's Not Lame saying, let's go Mantle. So the Bobby Mantle fan club out there in strength, as always, each and every week. And I tell you what, he's doing a pretty damn good job. He has been up there, started on the pole. He's led every lap, and that's currently where he resides right now, P1. He does have his Grim Reaper Motorsport teammate, JJ McCoy, to his outside. But so far, Bobby Mantle been able to hold off all challenges from competitors to maintain that top spot.
Yeah, as we get ready here to go back. We'll see how this restart goes as Pace Truck gets ready into the restart zone, and we are back racing.
Yeah, we are back racing. Still a little bit of issue with your mic there, Keach. Still cutting out just a little bit. But clean restart right now. Mantle still holds that top spot, but Brody Marinko trying to take over that second place side by side right now with JJ McCoy as they go off into turn 3. This is all taking place literally right behind your race leader, Bobby Mantle. He slides
we
up
got a
into...
battle for the lead, 54. He was just underneath that rear bumper of the leader.
Yeah, he's trying, but right now he's got to worry about JJ McCoy first and foremost. He has got to get by JJ McCoy. McCoy's got that preferred line on the high side. He gets that amazing momentum on corner exit, and that is what is saving him. And look at the run McCoy gets on the top side. Marinko just cannot do anything. He's going to fall back in line in third place. So Mantle, McCoy, Marinko, your top 3 after that battle ensues.
Yeah, that top line, the momentum just was too much for the 54 to not keep that second position. So it looks like he's now under attack for that third spot.
Yeah, Mike Hayes trying his hand at that bottom line, but quickly pulls it back in line. It's going to be tough to make passes on that low line, especially with fresh tires like that. Those trucks are just going to scream on that second if the drivers can handle and maintain it. And right now, that's kind of what the 54, Brody Marinko, found out. As you see, he's kind of poking his nose, taking a look to the outside there of JJ McCoy. So I would not be surprised if you see that 54 maybe try to do a little flip-flop and try to attack on that outside. And really, Matt, I think that's the only way he's going to be able to get around the 22, because right now that 22 is super strong on that third groove.
Yeah,
crossover
right there. Battle for the race lead. And I was just going to say, into turn 1, notice that 54, man, that turn 1 is bumpy on the bottom.
Oh,
so it definitely can get really loose. Oh, man, that was really close there. Battle for the lead rages on. 22 still underneath. Let's see how long this battle can go on.
Yeah, so good battle here. And that was that crossover move. We talked about it. A little bit of a slide job when it last time around in turn 4. Mantle moved up, and JJ McCoy took the opportunity to do the crossover move, and that's put them side by side, and that's where they have been. But look at that highline momentum now. Bobby Mantle able to pull ahead, but JJ McCoy still fights back, but he has to cut that corner so much, and that's going to open the door and opportunity for Brody Marinko. This is what Marinko was waiting for, to get to the outside of JJ McCoy. These two battling it out for P2 right now. Can Marinko get the momentum run to get around JJ McCoy on the outside this time?
Yeah, the 22 is just, he's strong everywhere. But momentum from that top line is probably what's going to be his undoing here. Because as you see, the 54 is getting ready to get around him. Ooh, little slide there from the 22. But the 54, he's definitely going to have the momentum here. And then the one truck is lined up right behind the 54.
Oh, yeah, a little bit of contact there, it looked like, from the 54 and 22 as they got into the corner there, but they're still neck and neck. That might have been enough to slow it down, and it was. Marinko up to P2. Now Mike Hayes goes to the attack on the 22. JJ McCoy may find himself losing 2 positions by the time this is done, and he does. Mike Hayes takes P3. JJ McCoy back to P4.
Yeah, there's a little gap behind him, so he can now kind of reset himself and go on the attack as the one truck now dives underneath the 54. So we look here from the leader. Oh, wow, big run from the one. Gets to the bumper of the leader. Wow, he made the clean pass
he
there.
Did.
Wow. That was talk about a power move.
We had not seen that out of anybody trying to pass on the inside, but he was slotted P3, and he was able to clear Brody Marinko, and now is on the attack of 89 of Bobby Mantle. Can he make the pass on the inside? Something that not a lot of other drivers have been able to do, but Mike Hayes clearly has been able to complete that as he passed the 54 Marinko as he dives it in. Can he slide job? And here it is. Is there going to be a crossover? There is. This is what you are going to expect, Keach. Every time when you see somebody try to do that slide job going out of turn 4, expect that crossover, and it's just going to lead right back into side-by-side racing. But Mike Hayes able to carry that momentum to secure that top spot. Excellent racing.
Yeah, as we got the new race leader, the 54's now kind of looking underneath the 89 here. But I was just getting ready to say when the one truck put the 89 in a different lane that he's used to, being putting the 89 there on the bottom. But these guys are definitely making the most of this run here. Comers and goers are starting to show up. That one truck really looking strong. We got the 12 up here now. He's in 5th. So we'll see who's going to be on top.
Yeah, I mean, we're working lap 31 of 200 right now. Still a lot of race to go, Keach. And these drivers are racing hard, but they're racing clean. I mean, we've seen a little bit of contact, a little bit of door panel to door panel contact. That's to be expected. We've seen the one, a little bit of contact. It did bring out the second boomer button box caution, and that was a racing incident, just coming off the corner, trying to let the truck do it naturally what it wants to, and there just happened to be a truck occupying that space. So other than that, I mean, this racing has been hard, but it's been clean. And look at JJ McCoy up there in that 4th lane. My boy up there flirting with it.
Hey, he's essentially taking the Tyler Reddick line and running the wall, which is something that you normally don't do here. Usually you want to be in the bottom to middle of the track, sometimes on the outside, but that 4th/wall line is rarely used here.
It's rarely used here, and you say the Tyler Reddick line. Let's hope that he doesn't end up like Tyler Reddick did at Las Vegas today. So, but he's out to the outside of Bobby Mantle, so it looks like the 89 of Bobby Mantle looking like he's going to lose another spot here. But here's the thing, Matt. We have seen this time and time again. Bobby Mantle is a seasoned, smart driver. He's taken a lot of lessons from a lot of his Grim Reaper Motorsports teammates, and a lot of times he will let drivers wear their stuff out. If he feels it's going to go long distance, meaning we're going to have green flag pit stops, we're going to have long runs, he will let the drivers wear their stuff out and then reel them back in and pick them off one at a time on that long run. The 89's long run game is on a whole different level. It's probably on the same level of Chad McGinley. Both of those drivers have amazing long run sustainability, and this is no surprise when it comes to Bobby Mantle. So you'll probably see him hang out right there around the top, in the top 5 or right near the top 5. And then you'll see him again as the run lengthens and strengthens on.
Yeah, the tire saving game is definitely out in full force here with him. He's definitely trying to save some equipment here for a long run. Everybody else differ on that strategy, so they're trying to all get around him. Man, there's 4 trucks right around him. The 12 truck, the 99. They're all trying to get around that 89 truck and set their sights on the race lead.
Yeah, and they are right now. First truck is that 54, Brody Marinko, still trying to work on Bobby Mantle to get around, and Mantle being putting up a hell of a fight. But yeah, you've got some hungry trucks behind him too. Joshua Slade, again, bouncing back from that subpar qualifying effort, at least in his book. That's not where we typically see him, but trying to bounce back from that. And he's moving forward, and Austin McGill moving forward as well. Both McGill and Slade have been right around each other most of this race, and they've been following each other's lines and just kind of moving forward. And you see they get by Brody Marinko now to the inside of Bobby Mantle. So these trucks moving forward, Keach.
Yeah, again, it's all coming down to tire saving. I'm curious to know what the 54 has done, if he's on max save on the tire, or if he burned them up a little bit, used them a little too much too early. But we'll find out here as this run goes along.
Yeah, and you see the 12 of Slade, 89 of Mantle. They get ever so close to each other, trying to get as much side draft off of each other as they possibly can. And as that battle's going on, you have a battle between McGill and Marinko going on. They go single file, but that battle right now for P4, currently held by Bobby Mantle, but Joshua Slade's so hungry and wants it. And he is trying on that inside lane, but again, that high line momentum on corner exit. Slade still powers it down, but Bobby Mantle playing a very defensive line there. He is running very low.
Ooh,
not
contact.
Yep, not allowing the 12 of Joshua Slade to come up as much. So that's forcing Slade to really have to choke that corner down to keep it painted on that yellow. So again, very defensive run there. No, Slade going around. Loose off of turn 2. That's going to bring out the caution.
No.
Contact. That's all right. These trucks, these things are tanks, man. That's just a little kiss. That's a little smoochy smooch. That'd be all right.
All right, DW. Hopefully that was not that heavy of a hit, because these, if you make contact with the nose, that's usually not good. That'll cause a little damage, slow you down a little bit, or hurt the motor a little bit. But we'll see. Ooh, yeah, he just got loose.
Oh, he did.
Correct it. Unfortunately, the 89 truck was there, and I think the 99 might have finished him off.
He bobbled it. He bobbled it. If you look, he's already getting loose right there.
He's loose
right there. And then right here, he saves it, and he has to drive it up the track, and then he has to turn it to keep it off, and then he has to save it. You see it go, the wheel going back and forth.
Had to save it again.
Yep.
And then the 99 just.
And that was all she wrote.
Yep.
And then right there's a little bit of contact. Doesn't look bad.
Than you think.
I'm telling you, he'll be all right. These things are tanks. We have seen. Okay, put it this way. You want to know about damage? We have seen. I'm not even gonna lie about this, and anybody that has kept up on any of our stuff, I'm gonna put him on camera. This driver right here, the 13 is Stephen Hayes. It was Bristol in a Whataburger truck. This man flipped his truck. Landed back on all 4 wheels after flipping his truck, riding on the roof, rolling it, and still ended up going back out there, getting some repairs fixed every pit stop, but still ended up going back out there and racing to the lead and leading laps in that race. So trust me, these things are tanks. They can take more than people realize.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I wonder if he got a penalty there.
I think he did. You know what? That's not our fault. He's going to go back and watch this, and he's going to be like, you guys were talking about me, and guess what?
Yep. And I was just getting ready to say, as we see the 33 of Ron Holmes, he stayed out, so he did not pit. But I was just getting ready to say, that 13 truck, I think that's my my favorite paint that I've seen so far.
Yeah, he actually switched to that paint, so there's a story behind that with Stephen Hayes. He thought that the 13 Whataburger truck was bad juju. It was bad juju. He kept having bad luck, and racers and sim racers, we can be very superstitious individuals.
Oh yeah.
So when you feel
I'm one of them.
Yeah, when you feel something is bad juju, you're like, you know what? It's time to change it up and do something else. We got to get a clean slate on this one. So he switched it up and went to the Monster Ultra Zero paint scheme, and he's been running that. But he did bring the Whataburger truck out of retirement for a couple races at the request of, you guessed it, the nerds, because we love that Whataburger truck. But yes, the monster truck, very, very clean, good-looking truck. And you see Ron Holmes coming down pit road this time. He stayed out and got himself a lap led, get him a little extra points. So that was good. But right now, that's going to put J.J. McCoy in that top spot. Mike Hayes, who was leading, is now P2, and that's going to put Bobby Mantle starting P3. So teammates going to be starting nose to tail right now.
Yeah, usually I would call, get that 5 extra bonus points, but, we're not back in the old cup days, unfortunately, anymore, but as we get ready for this restart.
What I wouldn't do to be back in the old days. You can call me old-fashioned. I know Jeremy and I have had numerous conversations about this.
Oh, don't worry. I'm in the same boat. I miss the old cup point format.
Thank
I miss
you.
The old style.
Thank you.
Don't get me wrong. I don't mind the whole format. If you want to crown a true champion for a season-long points battle, You want to go old school.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, it was broken when Kyle Busch missed half a season, came out and got a win and made the playoffs and then come and win the championship. I was like, what? No.
Yeah.
Green flag flies again. But that's for another discussion.
We'll save that for maybe another yellow here, but because I definitely have my own viewpoints on that. But anyway, as we are back racing here, the one truck, heavy contact into the wall. Man, that's going to really hurt that right front. As you can see, it's already caved in a little bit, so that's going to hurt his aero balance a little bit there.
Yeah, that
99, was... He had a big run. Wow, one top to bottom there, right in front of the 89. Wow.
Oh, yeah, going uptown to downtown. Moves. Yeah, uptown to downtown for sure. But, yeah, that was a hard hit. But, again, these drivers coming out, first time coming down pit road, getting tires. Every driver came down. And, again, these tires not up to temp, not up to pressure. Trucks handling a little different. If you made some setup changes, you don't know how they're going to run until you get out there. So, again, a lot of stuff going on. But right now, that closes everybody back up. Oh, looks like the 54 Marinko, a little bit of a tank slap, and we got a boomer button box caution. This looks like it's going to involve the 23 of Anthony Emmerich, as he is slow on the backstretch.
Turn 2 strikes again.
Oh, turn 2 becoming the coffin corner as usual. We're going to see what happened. And almost very reminiscent of the 12. Yes, again,
when it's loose.
Right over that tunnel entrance. That's right where the tunnel entrance in between turns 1 and 2 is at, and it seems like it upsets the weight jacking of these trucks, and off and around they go.
Ooh, and he makes contact with the inside wall as well.
He sure did. And what we're talking about, so you can't see it, it's at the bottom of your screen right now as these drivers are going through turns 3 and 4. You see that tunnel entrance. That's how teams get their haulers and everything else to the infield of the track. There are no openings on the walls. It's through the tunnel that goes underneath the track in between 1 and 2. The bad thing is it creates a bump right where that tunnel is at. It's not smooth, and if you hit it at the wrong point, the wrong angle with too much throttle, it will upset the weight jacking of these trucks, and it will throw these things loose, and that's very similar to what we've seen. And I'd have to say that possibly could be, with as hard as Slade was racing with Mantle, that could have been the culprit there, was just enough going over that tunnel bump to upset that truck as well, because that was right where that was at.
Yeah, I was curious if the tunnel upset the other guys, there before that last caution. But, I in that overhead shot, I was just looking at turn 4. It actually looks rather odd-shaped to the outside.
And
very
it does.
Curious on that.
It really does. So
yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's even though on track it looks perfectly normal to anybody else, but when you look at it, it's just that inside wall is what's throwing me. That's what it is.
There you go.
Anyway,
want to welcome Mike Lester. He is watching as well. Glad to see you in attendance, my guy. Look forward to seeing you back on the track at some point in time soon. But we know real life always takes precedence. But either way, we're glad you're here watching the race with us. Hell of a race going on right now. Drivers doing what they can to... Matt's not really conquering the other drivers here because the racing has been really clean. It's conquering the track right now. The track is the one that has really posed the most struggle for these drivers. Not so much racing side by side or even almost 3 wide with other drivers. It's the track itself.
Yeah, as we previously said in the broadcast, this track is very tough off of 2 and 4. These guys have been racing extremely clean, but the track is not exactly driver friendly. So they get upset as you see some marks up there in the Geico restart zone. But yeah, this place is it'll definitely bite you for sure.
It is, and I mean, this is, everybody has their opinions on things, but I would pit Iowa as one of those tracks that we dub a driver's track. You either enjoy running there or you don't. And usually if you don't enjoy running there, it's because you struggle with conquering the track. Iowa's definitely one of those. Dover is another one of those tracks.
Yeah, I was just going to mention Dover.
Yes, those are driver tracks, and there's a number of other ones too. We could go on all day about that, but those are driver tracks. And it's very tough because it's tracks that if you're in the championship and it may not be your specific track choice, you know that you have to bear and grit through it anyway because points are on the line. But you can definitely tell the drivers that this is on their list of driver choice tracks that they run well at and they enjoy running at because they're the ones that you see don't typically have the issues that some of the other drivers do.
Yeah, and this place, as we also previously mentioned, is kind of like a Richmond. A lot of people don't like Richmond because
I love Richmond.
I'm one of the ones that loves Richmond. I usually run very well there. That's why I love it. But it's just to me, Richmond was the track. These two are kind of similar, but we'll see how this restart pans out. Marinko, he's feeling a little aggressive there. He's already shown the one truck that he wants the outside.
Yeah, I seen that too. He was trying to go 3 wide there on the pace, but pace lights are off on the official iRacing pace truck. Yes, I got that right. Pace truck. See?
Yeah, we got the truck.
There you go. Right, cobweb's coming off, Keats. You're coming off. We're all right. But we will be going back to green flag racing this time around. JJ McCoy, Mike Hayes leading the front row. McGill, Marinko, your second row. Pace truck off, green flag flies. Ooh, little bit of a... They tried to time it, and that's what it was. But, man, does that shoot JJ McCoy out to a big lead? And with 3 wide back there.
Man, battles everywhere now. That seemed like a... interesting, we'll call it that, start. I don't know if I was the other racers, I would agree with that one. But big battle here for third and on back. Everybody side by side. Marinko, he's battling with the 89. That's for 4th position. That bottom's probably going to be the way to go on new tire until everything gets worn out here.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Mantle's trying to do right now, and that is the battle for 4th position. These two drivers have been battling quite often all race long, but look who's behind them. Stephen Knight right now in the 79. He's slotted in P6. Remember, he brought out that first Boomer button box caution or second, sorry. The first one was on the very end. This one. Second Boomer button box caution. Yeah, way back on lap 13. When he had a little bit of contact there and sent him down to the inside, but he's battling back right now in the top 10.
We got a battle for the race lead here.
McGill.
Side by side, McGill, yeah, he's down there. He's going to try to get the run, but that outside the momentum, because he only got a couple laps on the bottom before really the top really comes in. He's going to send it in. Can't throw a slider. Wasn't up next to him enough. He stays side by side. But this is going to bring that one truck back into this fight as these two consistently battle side by side.
Yeah, we're going to go up. We had a little something go on with the 25. Did the tunnel turn get him too? And it looks like it does.
And, turn 2 strikes. That was a little after the tunnel, but yeah, absolutely, man. That one... That's a night ender.
That's going to be it for the 25 of Abram Ghost, and as he pulls it down pit road behind the wall. That's unfortunate, but that's what happens with that tunnel turn. Even though it was after the fact, they went over the tunnel turn, and sometimes it does take a little bit depending on how hard they get back on the throttle.
Yeah, we see the 99. They had swapped lanes, and the 99 is your new race leader.
And Mike Hayes trying to go to the attack on the outside of JJ McCoy.
Yeah, man, we got battles all over the place.
And we got teammates battling back there. That's Mantle and Knight. Mantle on the high side, Knight on the inside. We got a battle for third between Mike Hayes and Brody Marinko. They pull back in line, so driver's really trying to do it. Now you see Slade going to the attack on Steve Knight. He's going to try to get him cleared going into turn 1. Don't think he's going to be able to have enough. No, Steve Knight's going to stay side by side with him. Coming off of turn 2, going to be a drag race down the backstretch.
Yeah, it was a drag race that the 12 was going to lose no matter what there. He was kind of loose there off the 2. You could just see him try to catch the rear end a little bit. But the 22 is now trying to defend from the 1 if they go into turns 1 and 2 over that big bump, you can see him really bottom out there. Oh, one might have tapped the wall just ever so slightly there, but he'll be all right.
Well, remember the 1 did have that heavy wall contact. You talked about the 12 at Joshua Slade being loose through 1 and 2, and remember that is where he lost his truck that brought out that Boomer button box caution as he slid down to the inside. So, and you can see how bumpy it is through 1 and 2. Like, these trucks, it's not smooth, and you see the 12 really slideways there as he's still battling Steve Knight on the inside, trying to take it. Looks like he will clear him this time. Slide job up in front of him. There you go. Now he's going to try to set his sights on the 89 of Bobby Mantle. We go back up front. Austin McGill still leads the way, but JJ McCoy still trying to find a way, an angle of attack on that 99. And then behind him, you got Mike Hayes and Brody Marinko. They're doing the same thing. Marinko trying to find the right angle of approach to attack the one of Mike Hayes. Neither one of them successful right now as both McGill and Hayes hold their spots firmly.
Yeah, the 99, he's been running the middle in 1 and 2, which kind of puts the 22 in a bit of a box because he doesn't really know, to attack underneath as you try to go onto the outside, which is kind of a huge risk, being on the outside of 2 because, the wall does kind of come back at you. So as we see a battle for third between Hayes and Marinko, these two are getting it on again. Let's see if the bottom works this time or if the outside will prevail. Looks like the bottom will prevail a little bit there.
Yeah, a little bit. Again, he didn't have him cleared there, but going into 3, looks like he might if he can slide job it.
Attacking the 22 now.
Yep, going on the inside. And here's one thing that I have to say. This is why it's hard right now for them to get by. Look at Austin McGill's line. He enters high, so he cuts off that high line approach that any other driver could, but then he does this diamond effect. He starts it off high, and then he takes it down to that mid line. His left tire's almost right there on those white lines, and then lets it drift back up again. Almost very reminiscent to like a Briscoe-esque line, that you would go in low, let it drift high, and then bring it back down low. Only this is the opposite. He comes in high, drifts it low, and then lets it go back high again. And look how close we're getting to that turn 2 wall.
Man, Marinko, man, he was loose off of 2 there, as he's probably going to lose third here to the 1 truck. But, Bristol, you want that low entry, high, and then, low exit. Here, you kind of want... Oh, contact! Oh, man, these two are probably not happy with each other after that.
Ooh, the 54 there drifted up, and that lane was held by the 1 of Mike Hayes. And Mike Hayes wasn't giving it up. Crossover move engaged. Mike Hayes now down to the inside. He's going to go to the attack now on the 54 Marinko.
Yeah, that he definitely had the crossover move. Let's see if he gives the...
No!
They make contact, 1 truck to the bottom. Can he save it?
Oh.
Contact.
Light contact.
No caution, though.
No caution because it's below the yellow line. And look at the amount of ground the 1 of Mike Hayes is losing. And that was an unfortunate turn of events there. He
really sent it in underneath.
And he did, and they were going through, and that looks like the 54 is coming down. You look at the 1's tires, 54 came down onto the 1. So lap prior, 54 came up into the 1. Next lap, 54 came down into the 1, and Mike Hayes... bad recipient on both of those situations, so I can't say that he's probably going to be too happy right now, but what he needs more than anything is a Boomer button box caution, because that's the only way he is going to get closed back up again.
Yeah, that's going to be the only way. He's going to definitely need that yellow. But the 99 of McGill, he's opened up nearly a second lead over McCoy in the 22. That middle line is definitely where you want to be, but man, is he really close to that outside retaining wall.
He really is. And shout out to Holmesy, who did pull it behind the garage and did park it for the night. Said good luck to his Grim Reaper Motorsports teammates out there. So right now that's McCoy and Mantle running second and third or fourth. Said that his heart is just not in it after finding out that somebody, a very close friend of his, unalived themselves, which is a sad thing to to hear, and thoughts and prayers to you and to the family, my guy. That's never a good thing to hear. So,
No, absolutely not.
but back to the racing action right now. So McGill out front leading, has no pressure right now from the 22 of McCoy, but the real racing going on right now is going to be right here for that 5th, 6th, and 7th position. These three drivers have been duking it out, nose to tail, so close for about the last 5 laps as we're working lap 77 of 200. So we're approaching a halfway point here in 23 laps. We will be at the halfway point of the so sad no Chad 200, and these drivers are racing hard right now.
Yeah, they're racing each other hard. They're racing this track very hard. Yeah, they're on the bottom, the middle, the top. They're in all sorts of different lanes, trying to get around each other here.
Yeah, okay, so you want to talk about tough and how tough these trucks are. Look at this driver right here. All right. Now, Clayton White and I, we go way back. We have a lot of history. It's good history, a lot of history. And this man has never been one to give up. If you remember, he took the biggest pounding that you ever could. I mean, it's every kernel on his truck was popped at that point in time before they even hit turn 1 on the initial start. Had a lot of damage, has persevered, has fixed it up, and right now finds himself in the top 10. And he is a championship contender. That's what that white windshield banner indicates. And he has found himself in the top 10 and still trying to truck forward. So you want to talk about tough? There you go. I mean, these trucks are tough and these drivers are tough.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's this battle here for 4th on back. They've kind of gotten nose to stern here. We'll see if they just start to click off some laps. But that 13 truck looking pretty racy behind the 12 of Joshua Slade. So these guys probably might have calmed down just a hair. Nope, and well,
They're going to make a fool of you. Yep, they're going to prove you wrong every time. We're going to take this time. We are going to take our first picture-in-picture commercial break before we hit the halfway point of the So Sad No Chad 200. So we're going to pay a few bills. We're going to keep the racing action on the screen. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. right, welcome back to Racing Action here for the so sad No Chad 200. Chad McGinley, much love and respect, my guy. We'll see you again next week for some Racing Action, but the Racing Action still hard and heavy right now. The 99 of Austin McGill leads the way over the 22 of JJ McCoy, followed close in tow by the 54 of Brody Marinko, and then Matt, we got to go back a little ways there to get to the fourth place truck, Bobby Mantle, and this battle that's been going on between these four trucks. That's Mantle, Slade, Hayes, and Knight.
Yeah, it's been going on the last, 10, 15, 20 laps or so, so these guys have been really into it. But I think the 22 got into the wall there in that last lap there off of 2.
And it did look to be that was the case. There might have had a little bit of wall contact there, and we've seen the 99 of McGill has had that happen a couple times too. And we are later in a run, and that's what we were talking about during that commercial break a little bit before we come back on live on the air, was the 99. It looked like that the 22 was chasing him down, but then the 99 put the jets on again and then stretched that lead out. So we kind of think there's some tire conservation going on here. But at the same point, that 99 may have burnt his stuff up a little sooner than expected, because when he restarted back in about 4th or 5th. So he had to work his way around some pretty fast trucks right now. So he's and he keeps getting closer and closer to that turn 2 exit every time. Look at that. Coming off of turn 2.
Talk about getting close.
Oh yeah, you can't get much closer in that turn 2. Look at that, Clayton White. That is a money camera shot. I love, probably one of my favorite camera shots when you come to tracks like this.
Yeah, that was definitely a good one. But yeah, like we were discussing, the 99, whether or not he burnt his stuff up too early. Yeah, he did come a little farther back on that restart, but he might be trying to save a little bit. It's kind of, I wouldn't save that much into a run, but the 22 has definitely decided that it's go time, and he's almost right there.
Yeah, and remember, 22 of JJ McCoy, he's on Grim Reaper Motorsports. We talked about Bobby Mantle and Chad McGinley. Don't undercut the 22 of JJ McCoy either. When it comes to longer runs, this guy can save tires as well. This team works very well together. They share a lot of information, just like the real-life teams do. And so when it comes to stuff like this, they do share information like that. So he can save when he needs to, and that very well could be. And we have another Boomer button box caution. This looks like it's going to involve the 64, Danny White, as he's slow on the backstretch. Do we have another coffin corner?
Turn 2 strikes again.
Turn 2 strikes again, as we're going to watch this coming off. And, yep, right on that turn 2 exit, you see the truck's already loose there. And he's dirt sliding that thing, trying everything he can. Does he lock it down?
Boom, man.
Yep.
Yeah. And he talk about a hit there. And,
that's what did it.
We get the yellow.
That's what it was. I was wondering, because he was down there, why that brought out a Boomer button box caution, but that made sense when he backed it up trying to turn it around, and he brought it up right in front of oncoming traffic. The iRacing steward said, nope, that's not going to happen. And do you know who the biggest person that is so thankful to see this Boomer button box caution is? That guy right there, Mike Hayes in the 1. Remember, he sat here and had that contact when the 54 Marinko came down and got the truck loose, and he went sliding to the infield, and it didn't bring out a caution, and he was just holding on for dear life. He's now caught back up with the rest of the field. So probably the biggest person to say thank you, iRacing, for throwing that yellow.
Well, he's gotta thank the 64 for that, honestly, because if he didn't drive back onto the track, which I've got some questions that I might need asked later on that, but yeah, no, he's definitely happy now.
If what you're thinking even crosses your mind, just so you know, the 1 and the 64 are not on the same team.
Yeah, no, that's not what I'm thinking. I think I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think the 64 might have came back onto the track on purpose there, get himself a yellow. That way he didn't go down a lot.
I don't know if that's the case. We've called races here a lot of times. We've been in situations too. I'll be the first to admit I've been in situations where after something like that happens and I'm just trying to get back going, I don't make the best decisions sometimes. It happens. Yeah, you're trying to make split second decisions, trying to get back going, and you may not know what happens. I was in a league race last night, and was involved in an accident, and I was stopped on the track, and the another car was stopped in front of me and was trying to get going, and he just hammered the gas and turned the wheel, and then literally just tail slapped the crap out of my car, causing more damage. And all he was trying to do was just trying to turn the car around and get it going straight again. So in the heat of the moment like that, sometimes, the judgment isn't on par as what it would be if you had more time to think.
Oh, absolutely. But another big winner of that is the 99, because now all the tires are reset. Everybody's got same tire, so he can now be aggressive again. And maybe save a little more tire, because I think that they're only down to 2 sets left.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point in time, now the 99 Austin McGill does not have to pass as many trucks. Actually, he doesn't have to pass any trucks. Why? Because he's leading the race right now. He's got no trucks in front of him, with the exception of the official iRacing pace truck, but he's not racing the pace truck. So he's got nobody in front of him. He's got clean air, so now he can judge that. He can play the tire conservation game a little bit more. Where some of these other drivers, they don't have that option. They're going to have to work it. Like Bobby Mantle, who, started on the pole at a lot of laps at the start of the race. He's going to have to push the tires a little bit more to try to get back up there. Joshua Slade the same way. Stephen Hayes in the 13, 78 to John Howard. They've got some work ahead of them to get done. So they've got to really push that.
Yeah, and I've noticed that the 89 truck of Bobby Mantle, he was the class of the field for the first, 20, 30 or so laps, and then he's kind of, I wouldn't say fallen off. He's still hanging around there in the top 5. He's keeping it right there. But I don't know if he's got the truck to do it tonight, but we'll have to keep an eye on him.
And you may be right, but I think Bobby's playing the game.
I think so too. I think he's just kind of hanging around the top 5, like you previously mentioned, and just kind of hanging around,
just hanging,
himself in contention. Yeah,
he's just hanging with the boys, just ticking laps, hanging with the boys, and I feel that's what it is. Because if you look, he hasn't really left that top 5. If he has, it's been like to 6th. But he's stayed right in that top 5, right in striking distance. He hasn't let himself fall back. I think Bobby Mantle is playing the Mantle game. Yes, and that's a wordplay on the mental game. That's the Mantle game. He's playing it, but he does that quite well, But he does it clean. It's all strategy, and it's great. But I mean, he does. There's some fast trucks out there. His teammates been fast. Marinko's been fast. Slave's been fast. We know McGill in the 99's been fast, and there's probably fast drivers out there. And we're gonna find out as we go back to green flag racing. Green flag flies. Austin McGill out to a good start. Marinko goes nose to nose with JJ McCoy for that P2 off into turn 1.
Yeah, as they start racing side by side there, McGill in the 99, he's going to start to take off. 14. Oh, we got ourselves another Boomer button box caution.
This looks like it's going to involve the 79 of Steve Knight. What happened to him there coming through turns 1 and 2? We're going to take...
Oh, man, that truck broke loose.
Oh, big loose.
Barely into the corner.
Big loose. And that's heavy.
64 truck, and he just barely clipped. He might have gotten away kind of easy on that one, but the 79...
79, not so much. Night. That's heavy damage.
That might... I wouldn't call it a night ender, but it might as well be.
Oh, yeah, and look at how he was loose. He was gone before he even hit the entrance to turn 1 there.
He turned in, and there was no grip whatsoever.
No.
That truck decided that it no longer wanted to turn.
Yeah, and Keach, I mean, you've got hours behind the wheel just like myself and Jeremy do. That is the worst feeling when you dive it off into a corner and you have it has no grip. And the only thing you can do is turn it right. You're like, I'm turning it the wrong way. This is not going to end well. That is the worst feeling as a driver.
And looking back at the replay there, I think that might be the tunnel striking. Not that he was loose into the corner, but I think the tunnel is what struck on that one. Yeah,
it's whatever it was struck. the 79 taking heavy damage, and that's not what he was wanting. Because, I mean, he had rebounded back from that second Boomer button box caution back around lap 15 or so. You know, had worked his way back, was almost cracking the top 5 before the previous caution came out, and then disaster hits again, and that's just, it's an unfortunate turn of events for sure.
Yeah. He definitely was not hoping for that. So he, like I said, it's probably not a, race-ending damage, but it might as well be. A lot of damage there. He's not going to be very fast, so it's probably going to take him out of contention. So we'll see how he can rebound through the rest of this race here.
Yeah, he's definitely going to feel that. It's going to be a long race for the driver of that 79 Grim Reaper Motorsports pickup. But you know what? If anybody can try to persevere, Stephen Knight's definitely one of them. But we got to shout out one of our partners that does not have a commercial, and that's going to be Dusty Pete's Gifts and Collectibles. So Dustin Sorber, probably one of the more stand-up guys out there, down-to-earth guy, huge nerd, just like the rest of us. That's why we get along so well. But if you are in the market for any type of collectible, any type of memorabilia, Pokemon cards, Magic the Gathering cards, action figures, pop figures, I mean, you name it, if it even remotely has anything to do with any nerddom at all, Dusty Pete's Gifts and Collectibles and Dustin Sorber is your place to go. Go visit them at dustypetes.com. Take a look at what they have during a Boomer Button Box caution break or after the race. Anything you order, use promo code SUPERNERD. Will save you 15% on any order over $20 or more. So go take a look at what they have. They got a lot of stuff out there. It's a really cool deal that we have worked out. So again, dustypetes.com. Also want to shout out Victory Fuel. Liquid hydration with electrolytes that has no added colors, no other additives in there, no dyes, no anything. It's probably one of the safest drinks. There's no caffeine. It's all natural vitamins and minerals on there with a very good, smooth taste. Comes in 3 flavors now. Lucky Lemon, Throttle Punch, my personal favorite, and Jeremy Stanley's personal favorite, Purple Potion, is the newest. Can confirm, is the newest flavor. Go check out their flavors. Excellent thing. Safe for all ages. Yes, that means the kiddos as well, so they can partake in the feeling of that being fueled by victory. Check them out. drinkvictory.com. Use promo code SUPERNERD to save you a little bit there on the checkout. But again, excellent product.
Yeah, I love Victory Fuel. Had my first Victory Fuel when I went up to Ohio earlier this year, and been hooked ever since. That Purple Potion is pretty darn good.
And such a cool story too. I mean, the Swindell family, Kevin Swindell. If anybody knows anything about World of Outlaws, son of Slammin' Sammy Swindell, multi-time World of Outlaw series champion. Kevin Swindell got in an accident, had to find something to make it a little bit better to get his body something. He was paralyzed and come up with Victory Fuel. So good story. Go check him out. You'll find out more on the website. But we're back to racing action. 99 Austin McGill takes that top spot, but right now Brody Marinko on the attack on the inside of JJ McCoy, nose to nose as they dive it off into 3. And look at Marinko dig down on that inside. He's going to go nose to nose with the leader of Austin McGill.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to be super aggressive, try to get up there, battle for that race lead. I did notice a little stack up there on that restart there in the back, but everybody made it out clean. The 22. Ooh, man, that was close. I don't know if he got the wall there or not, but man, that was super tight.
That was really tight off of turn 2. Again, everybody has fresh tires. Oh, talking about tight, that was even tighter because there was no space between the 54 and the wall.
And that allowed the 22 to get underneath him. Let's see if he can't complete it, but the 54, he's got the big run down the back, so that's good. Definitely going to help. 22 is going to run him tight.
He's going to try to get that run coming out of turn 4, but that high line momentum, these two drivers are going to be neck and neck at the line. The 54, Brody Marinko, does hold that spot and does complete the pass on J.J. McCoy, but I gotta wonder. I mean, he seems like he's running those tires hard. I don't know if I'd want to do that early because, look, he is already diving to the attack on the leader of the 99 of Austin McGill. He's trying to get to the inside. So right now, look at these top 4, how close they are, because you can't count out the 12 of Joshua Slade lurking in the background. Look at how tight that battle. Contact. Oh, down to door, banging. This is like traffic on the 495. It is bumper to bumper, door to door, and somehow they still get through it.
Yeah, that 22, I saw a little slide there on entry, but after a couple of heat cycles on these tires, you know, some tires, some trucks will handle differently. I'm kind of curious if the 99 is just trying to, you know, save a little bit, or if the tires, you know, them heat cycles are not agreeing, because the 22 and the 54 are absolutely going at it. They are battling side by side. The 54 will get that run. He gets around them. Here comes the crossover, and let's see how this battle will continue here in the 1 and 2.
Yeah, the 54 sat here and gave a little door check there to the 22 to get by him, and the 22 on corner exit of 4 sits here and does the crossover, puts himself on the inside, so now they're door to door yet again for P2. Gonna have to see what's going on. Michael Hayes on there wants to, or not Michael Hayes, Michael Lester rather, on the chat wants to know if Michael Hayes is dead yet. No, Michael Hayes isn't dead yet. He's running P10, but he's
had an adventurous night.
He's had a very adventurous night. We'll put it that way. So, but right now, man, this battle. Look at Stephen Hayes. Stephen Hayes coming into the picture. As hard as these guys are battling, it's allowing the 13 of Stephen Hayes to close tight in. Oh my goodness, man. There's no room. There was no room.
No, there was none. I don't know how he. Oh man, these two are still going at it. As we coming to 85 to go here, and these two are battling like it's 5 to go. The 99. I don't know if he's just not firing or if he's saving or what. But I think if I was him, I'd get out of Dodge here for a little bit.
I think he's just playing the safe game. You know, he's just running his race, and he goes up there. If they get around, they get around. I'm not going to worry about it. You know, he's not going to put himself in a precarious predicament at all. You see that he gives a little bit more room to the 54, because I'm sure he probably seen all the racing that took place in his mirror there for about the last 5 laps. So he's like, you know what, just going to give a little bit more space. If he gets by, he gets by. But that 99 powering on that outside there. And you see he takes away the 54's line there, that midline. You know, so if the 54 is going to do it, you know, that 99 holds that mid to high line. You know, that 99 does. So 54 is going to have to figure out something else to go around. He's going to have to get to the outside, and I don't know if the 99 is going to let him, because that's where McGill's been running.
Yeah, and we're getting to the point in this race, you know, nearly 80 laps to go. I think, you know, letting people go and trying to find them later, I don't think that strategy is going to work here as the laps start winding down, because the farther you get back, the more, I wouldn't call it desperate, but, you know, these guys are going to start battling even harder. You know, contact might happen there. So I would preferably be up in the lead like where McGill is, because our boy Bobby Mantle, he's running 7th, and it's not looking particularly good. And, you know, he's got the position held down easily, but
yeah, look at his view though.
Yeah, he might just be sitting back and letting these guys battle. So we'll see how this strategy will play.
Yeah, I mean, he sees everything that's going on. I mean, he's in striking distance, you know, right now, but he sees how hard you have Stephen Hayes and Joshua Slade up there battling, Marinko and McCoy, and now Marinko and McGill. He sees how hard that these guys are battling, the movement, the slide jobs, the crossovers, and he's like, yeah, you know what? This might not be a bad spot right now.
No, it might not be a bad spot with what's in front of him, but he's got to keep an eye on what's behind him, because there are still a couple trucks right on him that could, you know, try to give him a run for his money.
Oh, and they very well could right now. I mean, he's got a little breathing room, but he does have Clayton White and Brad Miner as they're battling side by side. That's for that P8 position. So, I mean, they are there. They can strike, but I mean, he's in a comfortable spot. I guarantee he's in a more comfortable spot than these drivers right here, all battling for position with the way that they've been doing crossovers and how close they've been getting, and the door checks and everything else. So I would definitely be very comfortable if I was Bobby Mantle riding in that position, seeing what was going on.
Yeah, especially with we're nearly 75 to go here, so we'll see how his strategy plays. I think he might be in the catbird seat, letting these guys burn their stuff up, but the 99 of McGill, he's still holding on to that race lead. These guys have kind of calmed it down, but we'll see how this goes as the run progresses.
Yeah, as this is the battle for P3, so this is one of your pivotal positions right now. Currently held by J.J. McCoy, but Slade was coming on super strong, and right in front of him you see what McCoy is seeing, that battle for the lead between McGill and Marinko really diving it down, but not going to have that exit corner run, and that's what's really been killing him. But if he can maintain that nose on the inside, and it looks like he does, but look at that drift up.
Oh, he's going to slide.
The slide job,
man.
crossover. That's exactly what happened with Marinko and the one of Mike Hayes that ended up leading to contact later on, where Mike Hayes spun, just drove it in too hard and too deep and could not get it to stick. He got the top spot, but at what cost?
Yeah, wow, that was incredibly close. He was honestly very lucky that he did not get turned by the 99, because he just literally came straight. Oh my, that was close. The 99, he's definitely going to need a new set of drawers after that.
Oh,
but,
definitely.
54, he probably needs a new pair after nearly getting turned there. The little contact with the 99 when he passed for the lead.
I'm saying the 99 of Austin McGill's probably got a driver suit full of trouser chili right now, because after the 54 and he had to back out there, and then how loose it was coming off at 2, and then now this lap McCoy getting a little squirrely off at 2. I think these drivers, as hard as they were running, they're starting to see the effects on those tires right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Just looking at the table here, I'd keep an eye on who's running 7th. These guys have been battling, burning their tire up. He's starting to close in ever so slightly, so we'll keep an eye on that. But these guys have calmed it down for the moment, at least. Got to throw in the moment, because anytime I say something, they're gonna go ahead and make me look like a fool. But there's that Monster Energy truck. He gets underneath the 12, and he's gonna try to get a run, but being on the bottom, he definitely couldn't there.
Yeah, and like you said, for the moment, it seems like it is kind of calmed down a little bit. Stephen Hayes there trying to get some last-minute momentum runs, seeing what he can't do. You got McCoy looking on the inside of McGill right now. We're going to take this moment to shout out another partner that doesn't have a commercial, Spring Fever. So the official theme song of Nerd TV is New World. This is an excellent band. They have that good mixture of rock, heavy metal, and alternative mixed together in a slew of different songs. You can find them on all your popular streaming media. That is Apple. They don't even call it iTunes anymore. I think it's just Apple Music is what they call it. Yeah, so Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, and even the Google Play Store. You can sit here and find it on there. Follow them on Facebook and Twitter, or as some of the new people like to call it, X. It's always going to be Twitter for me. But follow it on either one of those social media, springfeverband.com. Excellent sound to them, and much appreciation to Spring Fever for allowing us to debut and display their amazing talents.
As we get back here, everything still looks kind of calm for the moment, at least. I think these guys are kind of realizing that, we still got, now we're under 70 laps to go, so gotta, you can't win it if you're not in it, so.
And that is true. And, a lot of these drivers, they still got a lot to work up, but still got a pit stop to have happen here. And one thing we have not seen is green flag pit stops. If these guys keep it green flag, that's going to raise another question. What are we going to do when it comes to pit stops? These guys have only pitted under caution, so very slow entry. Are these guys going to be able to make it on pit road without any issues? And Keats, as well as I, and probably a lot of the viewers out there, that You can make or break a race on pit road. It doesn't take not but just the slightest of mistakes on pit road to completely shoot yourself in the foot. And unless you have a caution to try to offset that, the chances of you making that up is slim to none. Look at this racing, my goodness.
Yeah, I was just looking at the 13. Man, he looks sideways getting into that corner there. But to touch on the pit road thing, yeah, absolutely. You can, make it, your race could be make or break right there. On your in lap, on your out lap. You can't speed on pit lane, so there's a whole lot of variables to it. As we look, and that 13 truck, he is loose.
He's yawing it out. I mean, that's for sure. But I mean.
He's trying to dirt track it, and we're not dirt tracking right now.
Well, you know what they say, loose is fast. You just have to even it out in the corners. And I mean, he's yawing it out, but I don't see a lot of wiggle or anything else on corner exit. I don't see a lot. And I mean, these trucks here, I mean, you typically want to drive them off that right rear. That's how you want to drive these trucks. And he's definitely on that edge. He definitely doesn't want to yaw it out any more than that because it's not going to be good. But he's driving it off the right rear, as you would expect in these trucks. But, man, these drivers are putting it right on that edge, Keach.
Yeah, these guys are definitely starting to, really push it to 13. Oh, contact a little bit right there. But, these guys are really starting to battle. He's sliding up. Oh, man, that was close. He's going to slide back in the line here.
I seen that one coming.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The way that his truck was yawing out, if he cannot let that thing drift up to the wall like that and he has to muscle it down, I feel his truck is going to get loose like that almost every time. That's the bad thing to it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's going to try to keep that truck as straight as possible, but, when you're yawed out like that.
What a save! What a save!
Now he's got to be careful. Them rear tires are going to be hot. Now he's going to, into 3 and 4, he's going to have to take it really easy here.
Oh, yeah. What a save, though, by Austin McGill. Going into the corner, and
man, the 22 just ran him over.
Had some help there by the looks of it. We'll have to get another camera angle, but look at the skill to bring that thing back over and save it. But like you said, those tires are going to be completely torqued off right now.
Yeah, especially them rear tires. They're going to be really hot. Let's see, the 99, I don't know if he just...
Oh, there was contact.
Checked up for the corner a little more earlier than what the 22 was expecting, or the 22, he had enough and just sent it.
Yeah, and it might have been a little bit more of a checkup. Remember, these drivers here have been running their stuff quite hard, so that might have been a little bit more of a checkup than J.J. McCoy was expecting. But, I mean, J.J. couldn't go anywhere. Because he was already set about a half a lane higher than the 99, and he couldn't really go much higher because there was a wall there. So, I mean, that was kind of a 6 1/2 dozen in the other. And, I mean, any decision that was made was probably not going to be, of the best results for the 99 either way.
No, absolutely not. As we see here, the 22, he's starting to pull away from the 99. So, I wonder if the 99 had burnt his stuff up, battling for the lead with the 54 too early, to 22 as well. So he's starting to fade. The 54 of Marinko, he's loving what he's seeing behind him. These guys battling. He could just set sail, set his pace, and these guys are about a 1.5 seconds off their fast lap times right now. So these guys probably are definitely really hoping for either A, yellow, or B, a chance to come down and get new tires.
A little bit of bobble by the 54 there as he come off at turn 2. He had to drive it up the track to catch it. Kept it out of the wall, but maybe starting to see a little bit of wear there on that 54. So, and as it looks right now, the 22 is chasing down the 54. He is closing in ever so slightly lap after lap, especially after that bobble there. So, here in about 3-4 laps, we could see a battle for the lead between McCoy and 54 Marinko. And Keach, the battles we've seen between these two drivers already tonight, this could be heating up to be a doozy.
Oh, yeah. No, we definitely haven't seen anything yet as these guys continue to battle. Looking at the last lap time, it looked like Marinko, yeah, he still lost a little bit of time, but not as much as what he did before. Oh, that 78 track, man, he just got loose there off of 2. But yeah, no, these guys are. We're not even close to being done yet with all the battles. I think that these guys are going to turn the aggression from 10 or 11 up to about 15, 16 here.
Hey, Keach. Talking about close. Look who's caught up to the rest of that pack.
Yep, he's starting to show it.
Yeah, playing that mental game. He's starting to come back in, so we'll keep an eye on that story as well. Bobby, he's a good guy, man. We love calling all these drivers. It's always fun over here at Global, and we feel so gracious that we're actually able to call these races for these guys. So I'm happy that we're going to be extending this on to next season for these drivers as well. So stay posted for Nerditudes and Nerd TV to call some racing action and follow that up next season for the Global Racing League Truck Series. But we still got to get through this season. I tell you what, this racing, though, been getting pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're starting to battle. We're starting to get strung out just a little bit, especially up in the front. There's still that little pack there, about 5-6 trucks that are still kind of close. But we are approaching 50 to go here. Yeah, there it is. So we are in the last quarter of the race. I'm curious on strategy here. I want to know when these guys are thinking about pitting, getting them 4 fresh tires, getting enough fuel to the end. So we'll see. I think Mantle's pit. The 89. Yeah, 89's in the. Yeah, there he is. He's just coming down pit lane.
Oh, trying the short pit game.
So there's strategy number 1, because I was just starting to think, I'm like, man, he's still got a lot of trucks to get through.
So again, there's that short pit game. We'll have to see. We'll keep an eye on that, because Bobby Mantle is the first truck to hit pit road under green flag. So we'll see how that works out. John Howard, your second truck in the top 10 to come down pit road. So green flag pit stops have started as it sits right now. My question is what is this driver right here thinking? Because that 22 of JJ McCoy is getting ever so closer in that rear view mirror. What does the 54 have in stock, or is he going to come down pit road? Oh, man, he gets loose off of 4. Tires are screaming at these drivers, Keith. They are screaming.
I would suspect he's probably coming down the next lap or 2 for tires.
Yeah, Stephen Hayes in pit road right now, coming to the service of his pit crew. Brody Marinko entering turn 3. He was still high. These drivers do not have open comms communication with each other. So they do not have iRacing open comms to let them know that they are pitting. So they do what their version of a hand out the window gesture to let them know they're pitting is they will usually go down the backstretch and cut their truck low towards the inside lane, and then bring it back up to let drivers behind them know, hey, I'm pitting. And I have not seen that out of either of these drivers yet. And look at JJ McCoy coming so close right now. He's there. He is there. Lap 156 of 200. We are over 3/4 of the way complete for the So Sad No Chad 200. Miss you, Chad McGinley. We'll see you next week. Love you, buddy. But this racing here, man, his team doing pretty good. And this racing between these two, this is a battle I have been waiting to see again, because these two have put on a hell of a show so far tonight, Matt.
Yeah, these two. I wouldn't say the class of the field. There's been a couple other guys that have been up here, but yeah, no, these guys are gonna start battling here. I wonder if the 22's kind of trying to get the pace of the 54 up so he can burn his stuff up a little bit. Never mind. As he pits,
he's gonna short pit it again. So again, we've had Stephen Hayes come in now. JJ McCoy, Danny White is leaving pit road after service from his crew. So this is all start happening. So right now, Mantle, John Howard, Stephen Hayes, Danny White, JJ McCoy are your lead lap trucks that have come to the service of their virtual pit crew for the last time. We still have the remaining part of your what is top 8 right now. That's Marinko, Slade, McGill, Minor, Hayes, White, Knight, and Harrington. All 8 of those drivers still looking for a final pit stop. And I'm telling you, man, this 54, he is wiggling through the corners. It has got to be coming soon. Has to be.
Yeah, he definitely is screaming for tires. He's probably just trying to, keep them tires on there for as long as possible, because he's trying to have the freshest tires as possible, closest to the end. But it might also bite him in the end, because I'm kind of watching, the leaderboard here, and Bobby Mantle, he's in front of JJ McCoy right now, so. His strategy is really starting to show, but McCoy and
Here comes
everybody
54.
else are gonna have. Yep, there's Marinko. These guys are gonna have newer tires, so we'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, the question is though, is Bobby Mantle is already on the backstretch. He will come out after everybody pits as your race leader. I mean, did Marinko stay out too long? Joshua Slade coming down pit road right now. He was your second place runner. That's going to put your race leader as Bradley Minor in that 46 with Mike Hayes right behind him running P2. So we still have the 46 of Minor, the 1 of Hayes, the 14 of Clayton White, the 79 of Steve Knight, and the 57 of Ron Harrington still not come down for their green flag pit stop. But that is your top 5 as it sits. Everybody else, Matt, has come down to the service of their crew, and they're ready to run this thing out to the end.
Yeah, these guys now that are running up front, the top 5 that haven't pitted yet, they are screaming for a yellow right now. Because that way everybody else gets trapped a lap down. And as you see, the 89.
He's gonna get his lap back the hard way.
yeah, he's just gonna get his lap back straight up. He's not even gonna need for everybody else to pit, but he will get his lap back.
Now, and here's the thing. So
I think the 46 is coming.
Yeah, so Bobby Mantle got his lap back the hard way. He is at the tail end of the lead lap. That puts, as it sits, once everything cycles through, JJ McCoy should be your next driver that is actually one lap down until he passes the leaders. So if a caution would come out, that means JJ McCoy would get the lucky dog, because we still have Mike Hayes, Clayton White, Steve Knight to come down pit road. Brad Minor is on pit road right now. He's coming to the service of his crew. Box now. You see the 57 of Ron Harrington exits out, but right now that puts Mike Hayes leading this race with Clayton White and Steve Knight rounding out your Nerd TV podium as they run right now.
Yeah, he's just hoping for a caution by this point. I think anybody that hasn't pitted yet, they've run too long here.
60 laps.
Yeah, 60 laps on a set of tires. The longer that you're gonna push, the more time you're just gonna lose to the guys that are already on fresh tire.
You think that's crazy? The 14 of Clayton White, 70 laps since his last pit stop. 70.
These guys that haven't pitted yet, they're just hoping that there's a yellow here in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at 60 laps for Mike Hayes, who's your leader. 70 laps.
14 in the wall.
Yep, 70 laps for that man. 71 now for Clayton White. 62 for Stephen Knight since his last pit stop. And then Bobby Mantle running P4 right now. 16 laps on that set. So once these guys sit here and run their stuff, you're going to have Bobby Mantle and JJ McCoy are going to be your top 2 runners right now. And they are ever so close. And JJ McCoy has a fresher set. Remember, he came in probably about 4 laps, 5 laps difference or so. Put it right at that 5 lap mark, and he is chasing down Bobby Mantle right now.
Yeah, them new tires are definitely what's going to help him, because I'm pretty sure the 89, he's definitely used some of that stuff to try to get that lap back in hopes that there wasn't a yellow. But the 22, he's underneath, and I would say he just blew right by him, but he's definitely not hanging around.
No, he's not. But I tell you what, though,
he's probably burning his stuff up trying to get around that 89.
He probably is. But I was laughing at Mike Lester on there. He says Bobby is a mean guy. So I don't know. Then you see a different version of Bobby than I do. So I'm not saying that you're a liar, because there's different versions of people. But you know what? I've always been told that if anybody says that I'm a nice guy or I'm a mean guy, listen to both of them, because how I act to somebody is in direct response on how they act to me. So if somebody says I'm mean, probably listen to it. If somebody says I'm nice, probably listen to it, because it's probably accurate either way.
Yeah, as we see the one truck, the top 3 have still yet to come in. We got 9 trucks back on the lead lap. Marinko and Hayes, they were battling there for a couple moments. That would be the 13, Stephen Hayes and Marinko, but and they're still swapping side by side.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, we're coming up on 25 laps to go in the So Sad No Chad 200 here at Iowa Speedway. And these 3 trucks, Hayes, White, and Knight, I'm telling you, man, they're doing some work out there, really extending these runs, both tires and fuel. So hats off to them. But the big race right now is for that top 5. Currently being held with the remaining 2 positions, and these 2 drivers have pitted. That's McCoy and Mantle. That's 4th and 5th. Marinko is 6th, trying to chase down Bobby Mantle to get into the top 5. And then you have Stephen Hayes and John Howard right there just outside the top 5. So this race in here, I mean, this is going to be a pretty tough battle as well if they can chase down. Oh, man, John Howard so close to the rear bumper. Oh, Stephen Hayes, man! If Stephen Hayes would have farted, John Howard's truck would have got loose.
Yeah, that was so close. I was honestly expecting to see contact and maybe a truck around there, but good on them for not doing that. But yeah, the top 3 have still not come in, but their strategy is basically they're just hoping for a yellow right now.
Look at these numbers.
It's
70, 79, 71. That's the amount of laps since the top 3 drivers have visited pit road for service. 71 laps, 80 laps now, and 72. That is crazy.
Yeah, that's absolutely wild. But yeah, just looking at the leaderboard here, it's the top 3 are separated by 6 seconds, and then it's 14 seconds back to 4th place, and it's just creeping.
Yeah.
Last lap time for the leader is 24.4. The last lap time for 4th place, the first of the trucks to pit, is a 23.8. So not huge speed difference like I was thinking, but these guys are definitely coming.
And they definitely are big time. As we're going to take a look at the track map. So you can see right now we are on Mike Hayes. You see that little green circle around it. He's right in between 1 and 2, coming off of turn 2 right now. JJ McCoy, if you want to know where he's at, is right there crossing the start-finish line. Half a track, actually almost 3/4 of a track. I would say 2/3. We'll say 2/3 of a track difference right now.
It's pretty close to there. It's nearly half a track.
It's nearly half a track. It's like right there. Like he's closing in ever so slightly, but at 21 laps, so a half a track, even though it's a 3/4 mile, that's still a lot of distance to try to catch up. And that's JJ McCoy is the first driver that has fresh tires. Mike Hayes, again, who's coming off of turn 4, he's your race leader right now. That's still a lot to get up. And JJ McCoy still has to catch Clayton White, who's crossing the start-finish line now, and Stephen Knight, who's crossing the start-finish line right now. He still has to catch them and pass them, and then still catch Hayes. So I don't know what's going to go on. I don't know how long these drivers can actually push this fuel mileage, but this is going to get interesting real fast, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure what a fuel run is here, but I would presume it's got to be getting pretty close. But with 19 to go, I mean, these guys that haven't pitted, they've made their bed. They're gonna lie in it, unless a late yellow. Let's hope not. Let's not throw a wrench into it, commentator's curse style. But
why not? I've already done it like 5 times already tonight, Matt. So you're good.
Yeah. Why not? Yeah, let's go ahead and just go ahead and make a yellow happen here. But anyway, these guys on tires are absolutely coming towards the leader. I was trying to find a better word, I couldn't, so that's why there was a brief pause. But anyway, these guys on tires, they're just hoping now that these guys in front of them pit, which I would presume that they have to. But looking at lap times, man, it's not as impressive as what I thought, because it's about 4.5 each lap that JJ McCoy is closing in. So he's got to really hope that these guys start falling off or start.
Or they pit. Yeah, I mean, because 4/10 with 16 laps to go, is Mike Hayes crosses the line this time, is not going to cut the mustard. It's not. He's not going to be able to track him down.
I think something happened to the 14. I'm just looking at the live timing here, and he was like about 4 seconds or so back, and then all of a sudden, he out of fuel?
No,
I saw that wiggle there. Yep, and there he is. He's coming down pit road.
Yep. Yeah, he's coming down pit road there. So I wonder.
That's like what, 90 laps or so?
Yeah, we're gonna go and take a look here and kind of see what happened. Oh, he was trying to come down to pit road and missed it because he had a truck on the inside.
Yeah, wow, he missed that completely.
Yeah, that's what happened on that one there. He was trying to get that set up for it, but just could not. So, that was about 90 laps on that run. So, I mean, theoretically, if we sit here and look at it, if you can stretch it 90, there's 14 to go. I do not see Hayes or Stephen Knight making it.
These guys are going to be about 5 laps short.
Unless they have saved because of the lead that they have. Unless they have saved. And, I mean, you can. On short tracks, you can save a lot. You can sit here and clutch that thing and just coast the entire corners and then roll back out again. You can save a decent amount of fuel. I just don't know if they can save it or not. I mean, 13 laps, 12 to go at the line this time. This is going to be interesting to see if they can stretch it or not, folks. We don't know if they can stretch it or not. We're riding along for this ride just as you guys are. We do not know if the one of Mike Hayes and the 79 of Stephen Knight can stretch it or not. But I'm telling you, Matt, if they can stretch it, this will be the strategy call of the year, especially with Stephen Knight, who was in a number of incidents and everything else. If they can do it and these two finish 1-2, best strategy call of the year, hands down.
Oh, absolutely. Especially when you're running a slower lap time as these tires start to wear, as the one goes to the bottom there. I thought that he was getting ready to pit. But, the slower that you go, the less fuel that you take. So he's probably, he saved a little bit. I don't know how much he saved, because fuel saving is definitely an art, that's for sure. As we go on board, let's see what he does here.
Oh, he's saving. There it is.
He's lifting and coasting.
There
and
it is.
Got that clutching.
Yep, that's the secret right there.
The question is, how long has he been doing that? And also, can he make it?
Absolutely.
If he's staying out, I think he thinks that he can make it.
He's trying. If he's doing it like that, he is committed right now. 9 laps to go, and you can see as he goes into it, he is going to clutch it. No minimal RPMs. He does not get back onto it until about the apex, and he doesn't bring it up over 6,000 until after it's straight. So he is trying to save as much as possible, and I'd be led to believe, here comes Stephen Knight. He's coming down pit road. Yep, he's coming down pit road right now. So Stephen Knight coming in. That leaves Mike Hayes, the sole driver out there, running this strategy.
He is the only one on the strategy, like you say, and he's got 9 seconds in hand to JJ McCoy. And they're running almost, within a tenth or two of a lap time. So I don't think McCoy does not have enough time. He needs to be more than a second a lap to even catch him. And I don't think he's going to do it.
No, he's not. He's not going to be able to catch him. And I get Mike Hayes knows that. Michael Hayes knows that he has to lose over a second a lap for McCoy to get it. He's got time to play with. That's why he is clutching and saving. You can see the backfire there when he pushes the clutch in. He's doing everything he can right now to do it. The only way that JJ McCoy gets by Mike Hayes is if Mike Hayes has to pit. not to run out of fuel, or if Mike Hayes runs out of fuel before being able to get to pit road or crossing the line for the checker. That's the only way JJ McCoy can sit here and get by him. But Mike Hayes is on fuel conservation and has been for, folks, we don't know how many laps. That was just the first time we went on the Oakley onboard visor cam there, and we seen the tack and what was going on. So we know he's saving, but Matt, he could have been saving for the last 10 laps. Imagine the amount of fuel. Yeah,
he could have been saving us, even longer before then. So, if you're 5-10 laps short and you're saving that much, he might be good to go. Because, like I said, it's an art of saving fuel. Is about 8.5 seconds distance to second place now. I mean, I've got experience in it. I ran a league race. We were about 30 laps short, and I got it, with all the cautions that we were having, I had 5 laps of, short of fuel for a full race distance. So it's definitely an art, and I think he's been saving for a long time.
And if I was a betting man, I'd probably say that you are 100% accurate on that. He has probably been saving. He probably knew it was going to be close. 2 laps to go. The question is, can this man here stretch this fuel out? Let's take a look. How long? 93 laps since this man has last hit pit road to the service of his pit crew. He's been on the same set of tires, the same full tank of simulated Sunoco race fuel for 94 laps now. Elevated Esports, 1 to go. Can Mike Hayes hold on what could be the strategy call of the year to get himself a win over here at the Global Racing League Truck Series? 2 more corners through.
He's going to do it.
He's going to do it. He can coast it from here. What a strategy call for a driver, and he's out. He's out, and he makes it. What a call. Michael Hayes takes the win.
I don't think he was out, but I think he was celebrating there. But yeah, race winner Mike Hayes. Wow, I am genuinely surprised by that.
Oh, he's out. He's out. He ran out coming to the line. Look at that tack.
Perfect
it's bouncing.
timing.
What an amazing way to save fuel. This guy ran 96 laps. 96 on a tank of fuel, saving fuel.
Oh, he still have fuel.
Oh, he does still have fuel. Oh my goodness, look at this guy. Oh man, he can. It's got to be running on fumes, Matt. Has to be running on fumes.
Yeah.
This guy.
I know I have questions for him. Oh man.
Oh, this is going to be an awesome Martin Sports Victory Lane interview with this guy, because I love when strategy works out and just what it took. And I mean, this guy's got fuel. He's got plenty of fuel, because I mean, he's burning it down.
He's got enough to run another couple laps, I'm sure.
Oh my goodness, what a strategy call. But I have not seen a strategy race like that in a long time, and what a way to end out Iowa on a strategy call, and a bold one, Cotton, for Michael Hayes taking that victory. Wow.
Yeah, it definitely paid off for him at the end.
It sure did. While he's burning it down with however much fuel he has, and we'll find out in the Martin Sports Victory Lane interview. We're going to go over the finishing results here. Mike Hayes with the strategy call to end all strategy calls. Get your top spot. Second place, JJ McCoy. Brody Marinko rounds out your Nerd TV podium. We'll be talking to all 3 of those drivers here momentarily. Joshua Slade in P4. Bobby Mantle with a top 5 there. Again, the short pit strategy still netted pretty well for a top 5. John Howard in 6th. Austin McGill 7th. Stephen Hayes, Danny White, and Clayton White all round out your top 10. Good rebound for Clayton White after that lap quarter incident that he was involved in.
I don't even think he really made the start-finish line before they started wrecking.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So excellent bounce back. Steve Knight, P11, good bounce back for him as well. Ron Harrington, Brad Miner, Abram Ghostin, and Anthony Emmerich round out your top 15 for these drivers. And your 16th and final driver, Ron Holmes, ends the night early. Again, hearts out to you, Holmesy. Much love and respect, buddy. Thoughts and prayers. So, again, there is your top 16. What a fantastic. We'll be talking to Mike Hayes, JJ McCoy, and Brody Marinko momentarily. We are going to take our full screen commercial break while we gather up our drivers. We'll be with you momentarily. And welcome back to the post-race podium show presented by Martin Sports. And we are going to bring up and talk with our third place finisher after just a crazy race that took place. And first on the slot is the driver of the 54, Brody Marinko. Brody, congratulations on your third place finish. Tell us how this track was tonight, first and foremost, because we've seen a lot of drivers really struggling sometimes with the handling of their trucks.
I mean, it was good. Setup was great. I don't know. I mean, it felt good all night. I knew we had the speed for the win, but it really just came down to strategy, you know? Like, I feel like if we would have pitted a little bit earlier, we definitely could have solidified a win. But honestly, props to Mike Hayes for doing what he did because, good Lord, like the way that he stretched that fuel out is insane.
Oh, insane, doesn't even scratch the surface. 96 laps. Just for the record on that. But yeah, just throw that in the back pocket. But I tell you what, man, you and JJ McCoy probably had some of the most action-packed racing for laps on end. I mean, you guys were sitting here and sliding doors and, I mean, just doing slide jobs and crossovers. And it was probably some of the most entertaining racing that we were able to capture on broadcast there. Tell us how that was. Racing as hard as what it was here at Iowa, because we know that this track can really pose some good side-by-side racing like that.
I mean, I love it. I love racing like that. You know, short track racing, throwing doors, but it's just a matter of who can handle it and who can't handle it. I know there's some drivers that can't handle it, but there are a lot of drivers that can because this is a really good league that we do get some really good drivers that come through here. So I don't know. It was fun, though. I'm glad that he was able to handle it, and then when he did it back, I was able to handle it. It just made for really good racing. The slider I threw on McGill that ultimately got me the lead to lead for however many laps. I have no idea. That made me pretty happy because, you know, like short tracks are my thing and being able to do something like that is pretty cool.
Oh, and there were slide jobs aplenty tonight at Iowa, and it's to be expected as a short track, but nonetheless, third place finish, man. You ran a hell of a race, got up there, you led some laps. You had some amazing battles with drivers out there. You put that 54 in the Nerd TV podium, so congratulations to you. But this is your moment. You got any shout-outs, any thanks that you want to give?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you to One of One for signing me and giving me the opportunity to show out every week. Thank you to Legacy Home Inspections, the primary sponsor. Thank you to you guys for putting on phenomenal broadcasts every week.
I appreciate all of the kind words, as I'm sure all your supporters and sponsors do as well. But congratulations again. We look forward to see what you can't do for Homestead, Martinsville, and the season closeout at Phoenix.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
You as well. That was Brody Marinko, driver of the number 54. Again, fantastic run tonight, but we are going to switch gears now and bring in driver of that number 22, Grim Reaper Motorsports Toyota Tundra. None other than JJ McCoy. JJ, what a race tonight, man. There was action all over the track and probably some of the best side-by-side racing that you guys have been able to showcase much of this season here. This track really produced. Tell us how it was out there for you.
Oh man, it was a blast. Everybody gave a decent amount of room. We were able to run the trucks pretty much anywhere. I could put the truck anywhere I wanted to the whole time, and it stayed fast. Conti, great setup this week. Lots of practice with my teammates, man. It was just a really great race.
Yeah, you had some early battles there with your Grim Reaper Motorsport teammate Bobby Mantle. It's fantastic to see that going on. And you had some of the best side-by-side battles for lap on end with Brody Marinko there. And he gave you props to be able, he says, some drivers can handle it, some can't. He goes, I was happy that JJ McCoy could. He goes, and I was happy that I could handle it when JJ gave it back to me. But tell us how that racing was, because, for just 5-10 laps on end, you guys would do slide jobs and crossovers, a little bit of door scrapes here or there. But, it was on camera, was just, poetry in motion. Tell us how that was.
Oh man, it was good. One of the things I like about racing with Brody is he'll race you hard. So, just good stuff comes from it. And he had a good truck too, so he was able to keep it under control and do what he wanted with it as well. I was just hoping that with him and Austin, those guys maybe pushing just a little bit harder than what I was to get around the same amount of lap times. I hope that if I made them push a little bit harder, my stuff would last a little bit longer than theirs. But man, how about Michael Hayes and the fuel mileage he got out of that thing? I couldn't believe that.
I tell you what, you go back and watch the broadcast, neither could Keach and myself. 96 laps since the last time he hit pit road for any service. So you want to talk about strategy and fuel saving? Man, that boy had it, but that doesn't undercut the work that you did behind the wheel, my man. You did a fantastic job. P2 tonight. Excellent run at Iowa. On the schedule coming up, we have Homestead, Martinsville, and then rounding out at Phoenix. What do we got for Homestead and Martinsville? Two completely different tracks, another progressive banking, and then a completely flat paperclip. How are you looking for those two tracks?
I'm really looking forward to it. I usually run pretty well at both those places, so should be a good time. I'm gonna keep trying to drink the Chad water around here and keep having some good finishes, and hopefully we can make it to the Final Four.
Drinking the Chad water. I don't know what he's putting in that water, but I tell you what, you Grim Reaper boys, you're doing good. But congratulations on P2, my man. Excellent freaking run tonight. You did fantastic. This is your moment, your time. Who do you want to shout out and give thanks to?
Just my teammates, Team Conti, awesome setup. Without these guys helping me practice and push me, we wouldn't be able to make some of the moves that I do in traffic and just really know what to expect of the truck.
Absolutely, and we completely thank any kind words, as do your partners as well. So congratulations, my man. You definitely earned it. Hard racing tonight here at Iowa for the so sad no Chad 200. He's probably out there filling up on that Chad water that you talked about. So, but congratulations, man, and we look forward to seeing you in action next week at Homestead.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be talking to you guys again. As always, thank you for what you guys do. Can't wait to check it all out.
Absolutely, my man. And we will see what happens. If there's a chance, we'll be talking to you. I know that you won't give up until that's done. So, again, congratulations, and you enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you, man. You guys as well.
Thank you. And that was the driver of the number 22 Toyota Tundra Pro. And now, the moment we have been waiting for. the moment. None other than Mike Hayes. This is the moment that I know I have questions for. I know Keach has questions for. Mike Hayes, your winner of the So Sad No Chad 200 at Iowa. Man, question on there. How in the world did you even remotely pull this strategy out of whatever orifice you had to make this work?
Man, I have no idea, to be honest with you.
Man, a few words. I love it. I have no idea. No idea how I did that. I tell you what, though. I mean, you had some tough breaks. You really did on there. You were involved in a couple situations there. A little contact with the 54, Brody Marinko. Sent you to the inside. Made a little bit of contact with the inside wall. Caution didn't come out because it was below the yellow line. Boomer button box caution comes out about 10 laps later, saves you, but you still had to work back up. Tell us what was going through your mindset at that point.
Yeah, it's like getting spun out there. I don't know what lap it was, like somewhere around 60, 70, I think. But yeah, so I was in the back, couldn't really go anywhere. Then we had a couple more cautions, and it was getting to that point in the race where like you start thinking about fuel. I mean, we had all those cautions, so I was really contemplating like staying out with the guys and just like trying to charge for it. But I never won a fuel strategy race, so I wanted to try it. But I knew I had to stretch it like I had to stretch it like 6 more laps or something. I think I had like 88 laps that I could go, and I had to stretch it 96 laps. So it was tough. It was tough trying to find the line where you could clutch it and brake and gas all at the same time, But I was able to just figure out a line that I could stick to, and I could clutch, brake, and get on the gas all at this kind of like the simultaneously same time kind of deal. Luckily, it ended up working out.
Oh, working out it did. 96 laps. That's what I would tell you. Your other podium comrades gave you props on your strategy, and I filled them in. I said 96. That's the magic number. I said last time that Mike Hayes even seen his virtual pit crew. 96 laps. So I tell you what, the best strategy call, probably the most amazing strategy call of the entire season and year. We just witnessed and caught right here on Nerd TV at the Global Racing Truck Series. And I tell you what, you guys, you put on a heck of a show, and you wanted to test it out, buddy, and you did just that and did it in glorious fashion. So congratulations on your P1. Welcome back to GRL, my man. But the floor is yours. Who would you like to thank? What shout-outs do you want to give?
The first shout out I want to give is Tyler Honeycutt. He's out there watching me. I think he watched the end of the race, so shout out to him for. I think he always watches like every week, or he tries to. So definitely shout out to him. Shout out to the team. I think we were all pretty decently fast at points in the race, but I don't know, Danny got caught up in a wreck, and Steve was kind of losing his truck there for a little while. But shout out to all the guys. And as always, shout out to you guys for the incredible broadcasts that you guys do. They're pretty awesome.
Well, we appreciate all the kind words that you give, as does all your supporters out there. And Tyler Honeycutt, when's he going to make his return?
I don't know if he is. He's got himself in a lot of leagues, so I think he got himself in one too many.
Kind of bit off a little bit more than he can chew, huh? That's all right. It happens to the best of us, Tyler. So, miss seeing you out there on the track for sure. But again, amazing job, Mike. Glad to have you back here at GRL. And again, didn't take you long to get back to your winning ways. So, congratulations again. What do you have in store for the tracks coming up? Pretty difficult tracks coming up. You got Homestead. Then we go to a flat paperclip known as Martinsville, and then off to Phoenix. How are you looking for those 3 tracks?
I used to be really good at Homestead, but I've kind of lost my touch there, so I'm not super confident about Homestead. But I mean, as you guys know, earlier in the year, I won Martinsville. Oh, and by the way, I think in that Martinsville race that I won, I nose dove into the wall on my burnout, and I almost did the same thing tonight in this at the end of this race.
You almost did, but if you noticed, you didn't. That's why we didn't call you out. You know how Nerd TV works. We always call it out when people do victory burnouts and sit here and slam that wall on accident. So
I knew you guys were, so I slammed on my brakes so I wouldn't do it, so I wouldn't get called out for that. Because I was thinking about it too.
there you go. See, we leave our mark wherever we can. But congratulations. We look forward to seeing what you can do the next 3 weeks, buddy, to close out this season for the Global Racing League Truck Series. Again, congratulations, and you have yourself a wonderful night.
I appreciate it, guys. You have a good night too.
Thank you. And that was Michael Hayes, driver of the number 1 of some of the best strategy calls I've ever seen, probably in a long time, Keach. I mean, when's the last time you've seen a fuel mileage race like that, to where a driver stretches it here at a track this size, 96 laps? He stated, I had 88 safely. I needed another 6 at least. Stretched it out to get the dub.
Yeah, a track this size, I don't really remember a fuel saving like that, because he was 8 laps short, and to save 8 laps, that's just crazy, these fuel mileage races are they definitely can get exciting. I wish a certain series would bring them back, but it was a great race tonight.
It really was, and I was glad to call all the race in action with you. It's always a pleasure to have you up here in the booth with us, Matt. But it is our time to sign off. On the docket for the Global Racing League Truck Series, we stated it a number of times. We have Homestead, Miami next Sunday, followed by Martinsville, and then we are going to duke it out for the Final 4 championship contenders at Phoenix. And that will be on November 10th for the championship race. But for now, we are going to call our race in action and call it a night. As always, from all of the nerds here at Nerditudes and Nerd TV, as well as our amazing friend, Mr. Keach. Again, thank you for filling in for Jeremy, as he had some pre-existing commitments with family, and family always comes first here with the nerds. I much appreciate that. But
yeah, absolutely. Glad I can help you guys, and I just got one thing to say. Let's go Mets. I need them to win tonight.
Let's go Mets. So you know who Keach is rooting for. But with that, have a wonderful night, viewers. We love each and every one of you guys that tuned in. Be sure you hit the like and subscribe button so you get all the notifications when we go live. Much love and respect. Stay nerdy out there. And as always, be sure you get your nerd on. This presentation is brought to you in part by
Martin Sports. Get the apparel, look stylish, be badass with apparel from Martin Sports. martinsports.gg. iRacing iFlag. Must-have flag marshaling system for any aspiring sim racer. Get yours today at iracingiflag.com. Boomer button boxes. Total sim control at your fingertips. boomerbuttonboxes.com. If you race hard, then you need to rock hard.
And no station gets you harder than
iRock935.com. If you're a collector and that's your game, then Dusty Pete's, that's the name. Dusty Pete's.
Back when nothing truly mattered